All right, welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into something that honestly, genuinely fascinates me. And it's probably because it's the single most defining challenge of our modern professional lives, right? We're all trying to figure out how to survive, and actually thrive, as AI capabilities just keep accelerating at this totally astonishing rate. We're standing at a pretty major crossroads here. Machines aren't just doing our physical heavy lifting anymore, they're actively taking on the heavy lifting of our minds. So, will AI replace you or elevate you? Look, I know it's a blunt question, but it's the reality we're dealing with. Every single time a new generative AI model drops, that narrative tension spikes for all of us. Are we looking at our ultimate collaborator here, or our direct replacement? Well, as we'll see, the answer depends entirely on the skills you choose to cultivate, starting right now. To really shake up our assumptions about what's actually valuable right now, just think about this quote: "Children shouldn't learn to write code." Now, this isn't coming from some tech skeptic. This is literally Jensen Huang, the CEO of NVIDIA. The irony here is just incredible, right? The guy selling the hardware that's powering the AI revolution is telling us, don't bother coding. His point is profound, though. Generative AI tools can already write functional code. The hard technical skills we've spent decades prioritizing, they're being democratized by algorithms. So if AI already has all the answers, what exactly do you bring to the table? Okay, let's look at our roadmap. We're going to cover the macro shift, the 3 pillars of transformation, the Socratic method, and finally, perfecting your AI prompts. Let's get into it. Our guide for this journey is this fascinating source material, Between You and AI, by Andrea Ario. The core premise here isn't about, learning to code AI. It's actually about unlocking the power of uniquely human skills to thrive in an AI-driven world. It's a fantastic look at why we desperately need a brand new skills paradigm. Section 1, the macro shift. To understand where we're going, we've got to look at where we've been. For most of human history, physical strength was the ultimate advantage. Think of the old legend of John Henry, the steel-driving man who raced a steam-powered drill. He won the battle through sheer physical endurance, sure, but the steam drill ultimately won the war. It ushered in the Industrial Revolution, and that shifted the whole world to cognitive leadership. Suddenly, success depended on knowledge, logic, and specialization. But now, AI is the new steam drill, and it's coming for our cognitive tasks. We are officially entering the era of hybrid leadership. Which brings us to the core thesis of this explainer, the hybrid skill set. This is all about the dynamic integration of AI literacy, so knowing how to use the tools, and uniquely human literacy, the actual skills required to truly collaborate with AI. Because success moving forward, it isn't about competing with AI in areas where it already excels. It's about complementing it. Section 2, 3 pillars of transformation. Let's break down the exact boundaries between human and artificial intelligence. When we really look at the boundaries between us and the machines, 3 distinct pillars emerge. In the cognitive pillar, AI is an absolute powerhouse at processing data, but we humans must ask the right questions and apply context. In the behavioral pillar, AI automates the familiar, while we adapt to the totally unfamiliar and improvise. And finally, in the emotional pillar, AI can really only simulate intimacy and recognize patterns, but humans actually feel empathy. We build genuine trust. Let's break these down a bit more. So, under the cognitive pillar, we've got to undergo this massive transformation, moving from being the ones who have the answers to being the ones who ask the questions. AI can process infinite data, sure, but it doesn't actually understand meaning. We have to apply what the source text calls data sense making. That means critically assessing AI's output through our own strategic lenses to extract real, actionable insights. Honestly, it's a pretty exciting upgrade to how we work. Next up is the behavioral pillar. Just think about a SpaceX test launch. Success in those wildly unpredictable environments requires learning from failure, which is a distinctly human trait. AI excels when there's a fixed playbook, right? Give it historical data, and it's happy. But humans, we bring adaptability and anti-fragility to the table. We thrive in the gray areas, we improvise and learn from our mistakes to build resilience in situations where an AI would literally just crash. And finally, the emotional pillar. As AI gets better and better at mimicking human emotion, like detecting tone and facial expressions, we really risk falling into this uncanny valley of artificial intimacy. It's just a simulation of connection without any actual feeling. I mean, while an AI can analyze a smile or spit out a perfectly simulated apology, we all know how incredibly frustrating it is to be stuck dealing with an overly polite but totally useless customer service bot. Humans provide the genuine reciprocal connection and trust that we and our clients actually crave. We've got to engineer our workflows to have human cutoff points where real empathy takes over. Section 3. The Socratic method and asking better questions. Think about it like this. In the old paradigm, knowledge was scarce. If you possessed the answers, you held the power. But in this new way, the AI era, answers are a completely free commodity. They're everywhere. So now, the ultimate superpower is asking the best questions. Just think of Socrates. He famously dismantled assumptions and challenged the status quo in ancient Athens simply by asking relentless questions. And it is absolutely wild to think that a 2,000-year-old philosophy is now the key to mastering 21st century tech. Today, we literally have to apply this Socratic method to our AI tools. Generative AI operates within the strict boundaries of its training data, which means it naturally leans toward homogenized, incredibly average outputs. To break free from that algorithmic sameness and find true innovation, we have to ask boundary-pushing, provocative questions. Section 4. Perfecting your AI prompts. Let's turn this philosophy into a practical daily micro-skill. Because prompting really is the modern application of Socratic inquiry. It isn't just some technical input where you type words into a chat box. It's the highly strategic skill of goal setting. It's exactly how you give clear instructions and context to direct AI's massive potential toward a truly meaningful outcome. And interestingly, these 3 steps are backed by some pretty massive research. A joint study by major universities known as the Prompt Report analyzed over 1,500 papers and found that how you structure a prompt is just as important as what you're asking. The 3 absolutely essential elements are role assignment, clarity and specificity, and context and background. Step 1. Role assignment. Before you ask your question, you've got to give the AI a persona. Don't just say, summarize these business trends. Instead, say, act as an external consultant summarizing business trends. This simple tweak immediately prevents the AI from giving you some generic response because you've aligned it with a defined professional way of thinking. Step 2 is clarity and specificity. Look, vague instructions just waste your time. They throw you into that endless, frustrating revision loop where you're essentially just fighting with the machine. Add explicit constraints. Tell it you want a 1-page executive summary, formatted in exactly 3 bullet points, targeted at mid-sized retailers in North America. That level of specificity drastically reduces AI hallucinations and those annoying inaccuracies. Step 3 is context and background. A Cornell University study actually proved that placing your context before your actual question significantly improves the AI's understanding. It boosts accuracy by up to 36%. That's huge. Explain your industry, your competitors, your audience up front. And hey, if you don't know what context to give, Socratic method it. Just ask the AI, what clarifying questions do you need from me to give the best possible answer? So the really crucial point here is this. Even with the absolute perfect prompt, you are not done. AI gives you an output? Sure, but human judgment is your last line of defense. As we mentioned earlier, this is data sense-making in action. You must critically review, audit, and contextualize the AI's homework. AI optimizes for pure efficiency, but you have to apply the nuance, the strategy, and the judgment. Which brings us to our final thought. In a world of infinite, algorithmically generated answers, are you asking the right questions? The future doesn't belong to machines. It belongs to the humans who stop competing with AI and start actively collaborating with it. By cultivating your hybrid skill set, your cognitive questioning, your behavioral adaptability, and your emotional empathy, you ensure that AI doesn't replace you, it elevates you. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer. Get out there, start prompting, start questioning, and I'll see you next time.